your lecture of yesterday, you spoke about very contemporary themes, about sustainability, reuse, sharing, soil consumption. And my question is how did you develop this sensibility to the environment? Is something that comes from your previous studies, from your cultural background? Did you meet someone that made you change your mentality?
No, I don't know. Well, there's a lot of time that I am working on the natural architecture and an approach on bioclimatic architecture. But I think that we are in a certain point that there is a lot of interest of renewable energy and bioclimatic architecture, and we are losing the things that are more related with design without adjectives, only design. So we are in a circle where we are producing buildings that are not sustainable, and we put a lot of gadgets to make it more efficient, but I think that the error came from the beginning of the design process. So I'm going through this point and going to the beginning of the process, because I have been working for a lot of years on bioclimatic architecture, daylighting in buildings, and all these things. But I think that it's important to include these ideas in projects, in designing from the beginning, without more than this. Because if architects cannot include renewable energy in our repertoire, we will never go ahead, because we have to deal with photovoltaics or with solar panels in the same way that I put windows or roofs or all these things. And if we don't think from the beginning of the design process, in the design itself, and after this, the possibility of the renewable energy to be.
According to the contemporary situation of the earth, of this, let's say, saturation and completely soil consumption, which do you think would be the approach of the new generation of the architects? Do you have any suggestions or something for us, the students?
No, yes. I think that the conference of yesterday was really this approach. I think that the new generation has to forget all the gadgets and more sustainable and things in a more comfortable architecture from the human point of view, and having in mind what, as I said, to share things, to have the right dimension, forget these huge things that are like points in the city, but not having into account the user. So I think that we must return to the user and to the feeling and how we feel architecture, and how we feel more comfortable, and how daylighting is always more comfortable than artificial light, that how if we are in a porch or in an intermediate space, is really a human scale of the buildings, more than these big buildings and with huge glass facades that are really uncomfortable. I don't mind if they are energy consuming or not. For me, are really uncomfortable. So I think that it's more important to think on comfort and people.
And can you tell us a list of books that completely change your way of seeing architecture, and that you think that students of architecture should read, must read.
Tonight I don't have
Okay.
an answer to this question. Because I read a lot, so I think that
We have to read them.
each lecture is different for everyone, and even in different moments of the life. If I read a book now and I read a book 10 years before, or if I read the same book 10 years before, now I see things that I couldn't see then. So it's the same that in films. If you have seen a film and you see after 5 years, you discover that you missed a lot of things.
That's true.
So the books, I have the same impression.
You things in a different
Yes.
way.
So it depends of your mind, and you are always changing. So the important is not to be without doing anything. So you have to walk. Walking means see films, but observe and look at everything. Yes, look at everything and read. But I think that not only architectural readings are important. Other kind of readings can open your mind maybe more.